Hi guys, before we sit down today and chat together, I want to take a moment and say thank you to everyone that has messaged me this week and sent encouraging words and just for being so kind to me. I also want to apologise because I did let one negative comment get to me. I've been podcasting for over 2 years and it's the first negative comment I've had that I read on iTunes, and it kind of made me stop and think that perhaps I'm doing things wrong, and perhaps you don't like to see my dogs on the show, or you don't want to know anything else about my life, you just want to know about the knitting. And that was totally wrong of me. This is not a formal knitting podcast. You're not going to get any lessons on how to do certain techniques and things like that. You can look on YouTube and find lots of, videos that will help you. I started this podcast, because I wanted to sit down and chat and talk about my knitting to people that I know would be interested in not just my knitting, but about my life. I can't do one without the other. I can't just show you what I'm knitting. And I class all of you as friends, as I'm sure a lot of you who are watching this think of me as a friend. I guess, what am I trying to say? I think I just expected people that didn't like the podcast not to watch it. I thought they would have the common sense not to watch something they didn't like. I think it's totally unnecessary to tell everyone what you don't like about it. It's hard for me to explain, and I don't want to be mean, but it's just totally unnecessary. And if you would take a moment to think about what you say or what you write to someone or about someone, ask yourself one question. Would you like to be on the receiving end of those words? Because they can hurt, and it certainly doesn't make you feel good when you read things like that. So if your aim is to put people down and that makes you feel better, then you're going to continue to do that. I'm going to choose not to read them and take them to heart. I do, again, want to say thank you to everyone else who loves the podcast, who loves sitting down with me and lets me chat and talk. As I said, it's so simple. Don't watch and don't listen to me if you're not interested, or there's things I do, or there's facial expressions I do that irritate you. Just don't watch. But for those that are watching, and Bindi would like to say hi. She's a little heavy, so she went to the groomers this past week, so she's looking all pretty. Boo went to the groomers yesterday, but he's inside. But to everyone that enjoys the podcast, like the title says, the time has come. I think I'm going to go indoors, especially today. There might be other weeks that it's a bit warmer, but it's turned quite chilly here today. And I'm going to take you inside and try something else, and we're going to sit somewhere else today. So grab your cuppa, grab your Kit Kat, or whatever it is you're drinking and snacking on, and join me inside in the knitting den. So I'm sure you can tell where I am. I have brought you up to my bedroom. My bedroom is one of my favourite places in the house, and I sit here a lot of afternoons. I actually sit on the bed behind me here and I knit. So it is getting a little chilly outside, and I'm not saying we're going to be here every week, but I might eventually go down into the craft room. But to be honest, it's a little chilly down there as well. I might be in the living room where the sun's shining through. I don't know. I might surprise you every week and pick somewhere else. It does mean Bindi is able to just wander around as well. You coming up? Come here. No, she wants me to play with her toy, which I'm not going to do. thinking of home. Having a nice hot cup of coffee with my Kit Kat. Before we get started, I thought I would pan around and let you see the view. So I've flipped the camera and this is what I'm looking at as I sit and chat to you. That's not what I want to do. There. It is a really nice sunny day, but it's only 50 or so degrees, if that. I think it might be 40 something. It's going to be a high of 55. I don't want to play with your toy, Bindi. And if I pan around, obviously the walls and everything is dark because of the sunshine, but going past my little desk there in the corner, I'm going to move over to the window. Hold on. This is the view from here as well. Bindi, I thought she was going to get my coffee. These are the trees that were all orange just a week or so ago, and as you can see, they are totally bare, some of them. So I don't think I can. Oh, I can zoom in. Look, silly me. So there I've got a view of the Rockies from my bedroom as well, which this is why I love it here. I love sitting on the bed, knitting, and I never tire of the view. So let's get started. I don't want to bore you too much with the scenery. Okay, let's get started. Of course, I want to twist the camera. Bindi's on the bed now, sniffing at all the stuff. I don't have any tables next to me, so everything that I want to show you is on the bed. And I have a lot to show you this week. I do want to start by saying welcome. And my name is Denise. I haven't started with that today. I'm also known as Knitting Den on Ravelry and Instagram. Today is October 29th, I think, and this is episode 136. Welcome if you're watching for the first time. You can go back and look at previous podcasts and you'll see that for the past few months I've been recording out on my porch, and so this is the first time I've sat in the bedroom. It's a first for everyone else, not just you if you're watching for the first time. And yeah, it's nice and warm and cosy, and I'm just enjoying my second cup of coffee. I do want to say hi to everyone that's joined the Ravelry group and say thank you for doing that. I want to say a special welcome to Knit Up Girl, she's going to be walking all over the stuff, who is Kat, and she is a podcaster. You live in South Carolina, so I'm going to go check out your podcast. You said you actually have a podcast, and if I remember, I'm going to I'll add notes again, so I'll put links to things like that. I want to say hi to Tracy GH, who is Tracy in Ontario, Canada. I've got a lot of family in Ontario. And I want to say hi to GOJ9, who is Janine in Edmonton, and that's in Canada. And Hex Jen, who is Josie in Germany. Who, and I didn't take offence, Josie, thinks I sound like Mrs. Hughes from Downton Abbey. Or my accent reminds her of Mrs. Hughes. And that's understandable because the actress is from Scotland and I'm from the north of England, which some people think is got a very Scottish sound to it. Now, have the windows open because it is nice. I want a nice, little coolness. I get hot still. So if this one starts barking, it's because dogs over there are barking. We'll just have to see what she does. So yeah, the weather, it's chilly to sit out there, all morning, but it's lovely just to keep the windows open. There's not really any breeze yet. It went from 85 degrees last week to the past couple of days we've had a high of like 55. It's just crazy weather. But as you could see, there's not really much colour left, so I think we're headed right into winter. And the past 2 years, we've had snow here before Halloween, which sounds crazy. Halloween is on Friday, but there doesn't look like there's any forecast to get snow. Although it was not yesterday or the day before, it did started raining a little, and there was bits of white. There was snow in the air, which was crazy after 85-degree weather. Yes, I'll keep checking on you. So, a couple of more announcements. Don't forget, Pinktober, October Finished Object Project, the Kickstarter giveaway. All of those are going to be finishing after Friday, the 31st. I'm going to draw winners and announce them on the next podcast, next Tuesday. I also, let's see. Yeah, I'll do those next week. And don't forget, other Knitalongs are probably finishing on Friday too. I think Daniela's Hats for Kiddos and Ali's Knitalong will be ending then. I need to get something in the mail pretty quick because I knit that hat, didn't finish the second one, and I haven't mailed anything off to Daniela yet, so I need to try and do that. So I think we're going to jump into what's in the den this week. And yes, I'm going to adjust that so I can relax a bit, because I feel like I'm sitting too high up. No, we're going to start with what's left the den. I'm going to start with some finished objects, and I'm going to probably put my... I don't want her to get my Kit Kat, so hold on. I'll put that there on the desk. I can keep hold of my coffee for a second. Oops, and I just kicked the camera. So what left the den? I've got a few things, I think. I did start this last week, and I think I showed you it, and this is... I'm going to have to put my coffee down as well. And I can't put it on the edge of the bed there because she'll probably knock it. Alright, this is all new for me too, sitting here. I started this hat last week, Althea. The pattern is Althea by Lindsay, who is Little Lippy You on Ravelry. It's one of her paid patterns, and she also has matching fingerless mitts. And I used Dancing Dog Dye Works worsted in the slow-mo colourway that was Michelle created for our kit a few months back, the snail mail kit. Now, I did enjoy knitting it. I loved it. I did start off with the carbons because they were new, but I have to admit I went to a 16-inch circular with my Knitter's Pride Dreams, I think they're called, because it was... I've never knit a hat circular on a, you know, magic loop kind of thing, and it was just a little bit wide, and it was taking too long to push the needle back through, and I just changed to the 16-inch, and then when it got to where I needed to decrease, I did go back to the magic loop. I didn't use DPNs this time. Now the only thing is, I'm not sure the top. It's just not sitting on my head right. So I did the decreases, I mean they're just 4 decreases like that, but I'm finding that these bits here stick up a bit. So I will try it on and you can tell me what you think. So as I said, the fit is nice, but I just think this is, I don't know, maybe it's a, what do you think? It's not for me. It's going to be going to somebody else. I don't think the people I'm knitting for watch the podcast, but even if they did, they wouldn't know I'm knitting for them. So that is one thing that was finished. Another thing which I didn't really show you, I did, and I'm going to be, oh, Bindi is sitting on it. I did finish, well, I had an FO, this was a slipper. I've took the pom-pom off because I need to do a better pom-pom. I did get the other one just about finished, but it needs seaming up. So that's a pair of slippers I was working on for somebody. And I also started working on another pair for somebody. And again, because I don't think they watch the podcast, I'm going to show them. And I finished them, and I've kind of tried to make them look all pretty, and here's my little finished pair of slippers. So, show you up close. This is yarn held double, and some of it is Dancing Dog Dye Works worsted, and I mixed it with a like a jade. What do you call that colour? Jade? Teal. No, it's a darker teal. Gosh, I forgot what colour I would call it. But anyway, I've kind of stuffed them to keep their shape. I put pom-poms on, but then because I crocheted around the edge, I kept the yarn, and I've just kind of done a little bow there, which could be sewed in or cut off if the person doesn't want them there. And I've tried these on. Yeah, I try this one on? I don't want to take the paper out of that, so I'm sorry. I'm going to be swinging left and right all day. I did try. I'm not sure if I tried them on for you, but they are comfy. As I said, this is going to have a pom-pom. I'm not going to put anything on the bottom. That, you know, the person that's receiving them might choose to do that. Try and put that there. But if I was knitting them for me, I would generally just be sitting with them. I wouldn't be walking around with them too much. So if they think they're going to wear them a lot, they might want to put something on the bottom to stop them from slipping. So, I'm sorry, I'm going to make myself dizzy if I'm not going to make you dizzy. They left the down, the hat, and the slippers. I'm nearly finished the other pair of slippers. That will be a totally fully finished object next week, probably. And then we need to move into what's in the den. Now I've got to find what I'm working on. Let's see. Oh goodness. I need a better setup. But one of the things I haven't shown you, again, because it was kind of secret knitting, but I'm choosing to show you because that person doesn't know I'm knitting for them. I did start another Nurmalintu a couple of weeks ago, and I stopped this week because I realised I think I'm going to run out of yarn. I definitely am going to run out of yarn because this takes more yardage than what's in this skein, and I didn't even think to check. It just looked like one skein. I thought it would just do the whole pattern. So I was using this, what's it called, dye-lot yarn, bamboo. It's 100% bamboo. There's 260 yards in this. This would normally take 400 and something. So I don't know what I was thinking. I cast on, but I've decided that I'll keep going, use up all the yarn. This is how much I got done. I've only done I've only done one lace part. I'm just about to start the second lace part. Hopefully I'll have enough to finish it, and then I'm going to make it just like a kerchief, you know, like it'll still wrap around kind of thing. It'll just be more of a, instead of a shawl or shawlette, it's almost like a kerchief, as they call them, to put around your neck. So I'm going to finish it. I nearly thought I'm going to have to pull it all out, or I might have tried to find some yarn to finish it off with, but I thought it would look silly. So, again, nice teal and kind of bluey grey colours, which I think this person will like. So I have been, well actually I didn't really work on that much this week. As I said, I decided I perhaps should pull it out, but I will finish that edge off and hopefully have enough yarn. And that may be finished next week too. The other thing I was working on, now where is it, because I don't have the bag. Let me reach. Look at Bindi. So she's just as comfy here as she is out on the porch. She just has to hang out with me. Okay, this sweater I started last week from this pattern book. I'm working on this sleeve, and I don't think I mentioned, that the main sweater was called Packard. And the sweater that I'm doing, because there's lots of different ones in this book, I'm doing this one, which was called Luckiest Day. And you can see it on Ravelry. I don't know if there's pictures of finished projects, but the pattern is, you know, it shows you the details on Ravelry. So you start with the sleeves so that you can join them once you've knit the body. You're going to start the body from the bottom up as well. I did not bring the ball band, but never mind, I'll show you that next week. I'm using grey and cream, and I know the yarn is called Snuggle from the Alpaca Yarn Company, and it's an alpaca blend. I know it's not 100% alpaca, I don't think. And so this is the sleeve. This is how much I've got done. I've just finished the increases, and I was increasing every so many rows. I'm now just knitting until the size it says or the size I want. So there is the sleeve. I don't want it to be like short, so I know it'll kind of pull down when it's blocked, but I'm going from about there. So I only have a little bit more to go, 2 or 3 inches, and then I'll start on the second one. I have to admit, it's a little kind of scratchy, you know, with the alpaca, but if it blocks, I want it to block like looser, and it'd be like a baggy thick jumper, so that I can, if I want, if it's really going to be really cold, put a long sleeve tee on as opposed to just a t-shirt. But I love grey and cream. It's one of my favourite winter kind of combinations. And I am using my Knitter's Pride Dreams as well, and I'm doing this on a size 10. So that's been fun. That's super easy as well. I picked that up last thing at night really, and watch half-hour TV and just knit a few plain rounds. I'm enjoying that. So that's what was in the den also. I think that's everything that I've been working on. I am still trying to get a couple of more things finished for gifts. So I'm not sure what I'll be working on this week. I'm going to move into Cal's. Now, as I said, Pinktober, the Knitalong currently going on with my group and Kathy's from the Knit Nerd podcast is going to end on Friday. I can't believe it's the end of October on Friday. We're headed into November. Is it too soon now to talk about Christmas? To me, it's not. It's like, oh my gosh, Christmas is coming. It's going to be here before we know it. So, I wanted to go through. I did bring everything up, hopefully. Let's see. Take these out. I do have some of the prizes here. Well, actually, I think I have most of them. And I was going to go through them. I think I'm going to put some things together so that I don't have to mail out as many packages, I think. So I did want to just go over, and if you're working on getting something finished, keep going, and then you'll be entered into the drawing. I've got one skein of yarn here from the lovely Tilly Trout, who I have to say has a new podcast. She's on to episode number 2. I'm going to try and link to these because I'm so enjoying the British podcasts. I'm sorry, I know there's lots of others, and I will try to get to them, but I'm so enjoying watching the newbies come out from over in England. I just love to listen to the accents. I don't know, it just makes me feel really homey. So Tilly, her first podcast, she's adorable, and her spaniel, I forgot what kind, I'm not sure if he's a cocker spaniel, but he's adorable as well. So I can't wait to watch number 2. Episode 2 is out, and I'm going to watch that at some point today, I think. So we have a skein of yarn. I think some of the skeins are going to come with a little, I'm not sure what yet, but they're going to come with some either stitch markers or pendant things from Jenny. And again, I'll link all of these again once we've gone through the prizes. So that's one skein of yarn. We also have a gorgeous skein from Amelia, which is my favourite, Malabarigo, and it's in a Turner colourway. And actually, the colours are quite true because of the natural light, I think, shining on them. And it's squishy and I love it. So we got another skein of yarn there. We also have a beautiful skein, and that is quite true to colour too, although this looks a little bit more purplier. Purplier, is that a word? But this is from Marlisha and Talia. That was for a giveaway. That's going to be a prize. It came with the bag, but I'm going to make the bag a separate prize with some stitch markers or something, or a pattern. This is from Plover Bird. It's a drawstring, but it has handles. You know, and has a flat bottom. So I have been given 2 patterns have been donated, so they might go out as part of like a winning prize that goes in the mail. The pattern will be emailed to somebody. I'll have the exact information of what you've won when I do the drawing, of course. We also have another bag, and this is from Halcyon, which is Chris. This one has like a square bottom. Her bags are so beautifully made, and this is a great size for your socks. And she always says on her tags, "Shush, don't you dare." That's the dogs over there. Have a sparkly day. So that's one of the other prizes. Another prize is the gorgeous yarn that Michelle from Dancing Dog Dye Works has created especially for Pinktober. And it's called Girls Just Want to Have Fun. It's a 2-stripe. It's the main stripe I think is this pink, and then you have a variegated in all of these colours. And I have some, and I can't wait to get it on the needles. I so want to see these stripes knit up, so I'm not sure if I'll choose socks or some other kind of pattern. We do have, and this will go with probably either one of the bags or the yarns, so we have a beautiful set of stitch markers, pretty pink ones. I haven't got my glasses on. Oh my gosh. I think it's Anne Templeton. Anne Templeton, can't get out, which is Templeton's Crochet and More. Again, I will try to link to everyone that's donated if they have an Etsy store. Some of you guys just kindly donated because you watch the podcast. There's also going to be a couple of prizes with some beautiful, I love this, pink sugars and cream. I have 6, so I'm going to split it up and give one prize of 3. Again, either with a pattern or stitch markers, and add to it. And I think that's it. I also have a $10 gift certificate. That's all I have to show. I've got a $10 gift certificate which has been donated by Dawn and James from Wolf Farms. So the winner will be, contacted by James or James and Dawn, and then you'll get to pick something from their shop. They sell soaps and hand lotions and candles and just lots of smelly stuff, and I love all of their smells. I have a few of their little sample bottles of moisturizer lotion, and the smells are just absolutely amazing. One of my favourites is the coconut lime verbena or something like that. I love it. So I have that, and another thing I don't have with me is another bag, project bag, and that's coming from the lovely Kathy of the Knit Nerd podcast. She's going to donate a bag to my winners, and I kind of feel bad because I didn't sew any bags for Pinktober this year, but that's how it is. I've just been crazy busy, and I've made decisions and choices to, just not to do some things. I was lucky enough to receive lots of donations, which I can't thank you enough for. So I kind of told myself I didn't need to do the bags. And some of the bags that I did do that were the Pinktober, the breast cancer fabric and everything. I did make some, but I sent some of the proceeds. I sold them so I could send the proceeds to Kathy for her fundraiser, Race for the Cure, and to our lovely Wendy. Silly Fruit. So I did do some bags. They're not part of the giveaway this year, but I hope you can understand that. I'm sure you can. So that's that. I'm trying to see where else. And as I said, the Knitalongs, I'm trying to pick out a pattern and cast on pretty soon for Danny's first Knitalong, which is a Knitalong, which I think just sounds adorable. Danny from the Little Bobbins Knits podcast, another new podcaster in England. She's hosting her first Knitalong, and everyone's already got like mittens on the needles or fingerless gloves or whatever. I want to find a pattern to do. I'm going to try and find I don't know why I'm showing you my hand. I'm going to try and find a convertible, you know, because the fingerless mitts tend to still make my fingers cold. So I want them where they're mittens most of the time, but if I need to, I'm going to flip them over. I've got to find a pattern that I decide I like. What you doing, Missy Moo? Finding another comfy spot. The toy along with Marlisha and Talia from Penhook Needles and Kate and Dan from the Bakery Bears. That's going on, and I think it might be not in the end of November, it might even be the end of the year, end of December. So I have time to get a toy in for that as well, if I can get organised and get some stuff on the needles. Yeah, she's gone to sleep. So that's another knit along, and as I mentioned earlier, Daniela and Ali from the Caffeinated Knitting podcast, they've been having a hat drive. I think that finishes on Friday, so you know, check out their group if you want to send some hats that you've made. I really, really need to get some hats. I only made one, but I wanted to send it to them. To be honest, I have. So I'll just tell you, I'll just chat in between things. I did say I'm going to stop sewing some bags for a while. Well, Alicia, what's my hair like? It's okay. I did say I'm going to stop sewing bags, and I did that last week. I didn't sew one bag last week. I do have custom orders and some gifts to get done. But I'd have to tell you, I felt so, I want to say liberated. It was so, there was like a huge weight off my shoulders, and I was able to do stuff around the house that I've been putting off for months and months and months. I washed carpets with my carpet cleaner, and I washed the floors, and I haven't organised that much stuff, but I cleaned a lot of things that I've been putting off. And what's kind of setting me back this week that I want to, I want to cast on new things, and I'm helping Kristen, or I'm actually doing it, with her Halloween costume. I've never made Kristen's Halloween costume before. I've always bought it. She's always liked some kind of character or wanted to be a dog. She does like dressing up, but this year she decided she wanted to be some kind of a warrior, rogue thing from World of Warcraft. And if you know anything about World of Warcraft, then you'll know what kind of armour and weird things I'm talking about. So I've been trying to do some big chunky shoulder pads and breastplates or whatever. It's driving me crazy. And she's not helping that much. She said she would help it, and I'm just doing it because I want it done and out of the way. So that's set me back a little this week with doing, more cleaning and organising. So once Friday is over with, I'm going to feel that, I'm going to have that feeling again of just being able to do whatever I want. I want to get some cards and thank yous out in the mail. I want to cast on some new stuff, and I'll be planning for Kristen's birthday, getting stuff in for our Thanksgiving. I think there's just us three again this year. And then planning Christmas gifts, and I've got the book club Christmas party here, and I'm co-hosting that. Which reminds me, I keep forgetting to tell you this every week. For the past 3 weeks or so, I've hosted a couple, and last week I went to somebody else's. I found a couple of friends in the neighbourhood that knit. They're in my book club, and we've been knitting. We've been having a little knit and natter on either a Thursday morning or a Friday morning for a couple of hours, like 10 till 12. And so I have a little knit group, and it's fabulous, and I love it. I hope we can keep up doing that. One of the girls who lives just a few doors away from me, but it's kind of up the street, out of sight, you can't see it. She's kind of a newbie, new knitter, and she's been taking a sweater class at the local yarn store. So she has, you know, whenever if she has questions and that, it's nice. She wants to get together weekly so that if she does have questions, I'll be able to help her with them, or I answer them. So, and the other lady, she used to knit. She came from the East Coast, and that sounds like boo coming up. And so she's knitting. She wants to get back into it. She's got a sweater in mind as well, like sleeveless. And it's just, oh, it's just fun. It's nice to knit with like two girls. I thought you'd opened the door. That you know. And another quick note before I move on. I am waffling a lot today. But that's who I am. The local yarn store. It had a for sale sign outside the other week. And Michelle, who is the newbie knitter, told me about it, and I kind of panicked and thought, oh no, she's having to sell, or you know, if she rents it, she's having to give it up and close. But thankfully she's not. She's actually moving to a bigger place just a couple of streets over in the town. So I'm really happy for her. She would have stayed there. It's that nice little house with a picket fence around it down in the town. But the person that she was renting it from decided that they wanted to sell it. And she obviously doesn't want to buy, you know, the property with her business. But so somebody else bought it, and I heard that they're making it into a sushi place. I don't know. But I'm just happy that she is moving over into a bigger place as well, so we'll get more choices of yarn. She'll be able to stock more. I'm hoping she gets some comfy sofas in, so if we pop down there, you know, to knit, I can have somewhere comfortable to sit. Plus, big thing, she's got AC in this building. This little house that she had did not have AC, and so a few times when I've popped down to do knit night in the summer, and you're sitting in this little back room, which is quite small, with a little one window open, it was pretty uncomfortable. I didn't stay as long as I would have liked to. I had to get out of there, it was too hot. So with all that said, I think it's time to move into show and tell. And I just so happened, yeah, my hair's, it's bugging me now. I popped down to the local yarn store a couple of days ago. It was Monday, yeah, and I bought a couple of more things. And because she's moving, she's having some sale items, so she doesn't have to take everything with her. And then I picked up something, it wasn't even in the sale, but I saw it and I thought, I want it and I like it. The first thing I picked up, and of course, I'll give you not 3 guesses, you'll only need 1 guess who I thought of when I saw this. Can we say dancing geek? I thought of you as soon as I saw this. It was in the sale, 40% off, and it's just chunky wool. I don't know what I'm going to knit with it yet, but I just realised I don't have anything that orange, and with it being chunky, it was going to make some really nice cowl or hat or mittens. I can see cables knit with it, so not sure what I'm going to use, what I'm going to knit with. It's a bulky, it's not even chunky, it's bulky, so I think that might be even thicker. So I love that. Excuse me, that was in the sale, 40% off $15 or something. I'm not going to try and work that out. But I did get that, I love it. And then excuse me, I'll reach over. I saw this lovely tank. Yeah, I'm into tanks, but I've got none on the needles just yet. And it was on the model in the store. I love, and this is not normally me, I do love the asymmetrical look kind of thing. Especially the neck as well. And I love Barocco's yarns, I really do. You got the pattern free, and that's not me, but I think that's a coffee mug stain. I'm sure that's not. No, you know what? That is part of the pattern, I think. Kind of weird. I'm not sure. But the pattern was free with the yarn, and I got the yarn Barocco Linus. Never heard of it before, and it's so weird. Now, kind of true to colour, limey, chartreusey kind of green, a little brighter than what you're seeing, I think. But look at this yarn. Isn't this weird? almost like a tape. It is a 50% acrylic, 20% linen, 18% nylon and 12% rayon, or rayon as I would say. So it took 4. I picked 4 up. And the way when you see it knit up, it doesn't look like this kind of tape yarn at all. And you knit it on bigger needles, so it's very loose and drapey. So I made a note in my, can't think of the word, journal, to say that I bought it. I do need to put a little, I want to put a little sample in, and I'll put one of the labels in once I get it, you know, one skeined up, and then I need to find a bag for it. I think that's what I need to do. I need to put the things that I plan, if I've got the yarn and a pattern in mind, I'll need to bag them up. I should get a big Ziploc or something so that I know that that's why I bought it. Say for instance the orange yarn, I don't know what I'm going to knit with yet, so it would just go in my stash. So that needs to go somewhere. I also, and I went down for this is show and tell too, I wasn't going to buy this because, to be honest, I haven't even read the other 2 that I have. I've kind of just flicked through them, and I need to get them back out because I need to pick them up more often and just, you know, I haven't read the articles and that, but I couldn't resist. I had to go and I had to get the Jane Austen latest magazine, and I must admit, because I did like these on the cover. Beautiful. And as much as I don't, yeah, you know, I don't wear these to keep my hands warm, but I do like them for a fashion statement. I did not mark anything in here, but I have to tell you, when I was flicking through this, oh, I just felt like being, I don't know, I love Jane Eyre. I wouldn't say I'm a huge big fan. I haven't read that many books. In fact, I haven't read any, to be truthful. I've watched movies and I've tried to read Pride and Prejudice, and I've still not got to the end of it, but I think I'd like to get back, I'd like to get more into it, because every time I see this magazine, I love it. And I want that t-shirt. Just things like that. I just want, I want them. And, now where is the thing? Look in here, look at this. Beautiful miniature book stitch markers help keep your knitting in order. They're snag free and slightly larger than a dime. It's $4 for one. And this is from Knit Cubby, who's got those fabulous stitch markers on Etsy. So she's in the magazine. How, wow. Famous. So, as I said, I did not mark anything that I liked, so I'll flick through a little bit. There is one thing in here I really, really want to put on the needles as well. But just things like that. You know, like a nice cotton nightgown with that beautiful shawl draped around you. I just think it's so old-fashioned. I'm trying to think of the word. It's just an airplane. Stop, please. Nuh-uh, no bark. I'm trying to think of it. No, it's nostalgic. It makes me feel nostalgic. I think that's one of the words I'm trying to think of. So I did like that. I think the pattern is in here. And they've also got, if you don't want to keep buying this, they've got a book out now, Interweave Knits puts this out, of a collection of Jane Austen, what's been in their magazine, the best of Jane Austen knits. So you could just buy one magazine and get some of the best stuff. I'll show you what I do want to get on the needles, and again, should have marked it, but that's just the way I am. I want to read the articles as well. And again, it's like trying to find the time, because I'm trying to read the book for book club. I'm going to flick through this, oh, I've been there. Squirrel! Bath in England, or as some of them say, Bath. That's a beautiful place, and that's very interesting to go see. I was going to say I'm going to flick through quietly, so I'll show you a couple of pages because I always want to see what's in the magazine. So here's one of them, one of the first pages. I wouldn't make that bag. Here's one with socks and some mittens for him. Men's driving gloves, I should say. I love this felted hat, but I don't think I'd be able to do the flowers. It just would not look the same. And actually I read somewhere, and I'm not going to try and find that article, but it did say that some of these pictures were, I don't know if it would be something like this, where they were in the gardens, and they were in Colorado. I think they said somewhere up in Fort Collins. They used some place as the backdrop. I'll have to read and find out where exactly that is. So there is a top I want to knit, and again it's like a tank. I think 2015 is going to be the year of the sweater and shawl. And when I say a sweater, I just mean any kind of top, like a jumper or a cardigan, or just a tee, you know, like no sleeves. There's so many things I want to knit, and I want to take the time to check the gauge, and you know, have it actually fit. So here it is. It's Regency blouse, and it's knit in my favourite. No, it's not. I always get these mixed up. It's one. I mean, it's nice, but Malabrigo sock is my favourite. This is Madeline Tosh sock, which I don't think I've actually used. Not sure now. Anyway, sorry. This is the pretty top. I don't think I would do it in such a variegated yarn. I'm trying to see as I show you, but come back a bit so you can see. I love it, and it's kind of long in the body, because it said something about wanting to you could wear it with like a long flowy skirt, long skirt. I don't think I would, but I think that's what I read that it was doing. So that is definitely the one that I want to cast on. I don't think I would knit that hat. Some of the styles are just something I wouldn't wear, but I love looking at them. And there was another shawl in here. Oh, here's some more pictures of the top. So I'd love something, and I want it to fit kind of like that. I love something like that. Not sure if I can find the. Oh, this is the other stole. The other stole. It's a stole, I would say. Handmade in lace silk. Fitzwilliam's gift, and it's a beaded shawl or stole. And I'm thinking, instead of something like the Even Star, which is like a huge, big, epic project circle, I'm thinking just something like a stole shape with beads on as my legacy for Kristen's wedding thing that I mentioned before. I have to look into that and see what the pattern's like, but I'd like the idea of something like that with beads in, you know, that you could probably wear as a scarf once, you know, because it's so fine and it's lace. So anyway, that was also it's just one of my favourite magazines, I must admit, but I just never take the time to sit down and read all these lovely articles. So I'm going to try to. And that is, I think Interweave Knits puts this out. It was $14.99 at my local yarn store, and it's got janeaustenknits.com. There is a website, so I haven't even looked at that yet. One more thing, I'm not sure where it is. It's over here, so hold on a minute. Another magazine. I'm doing swaps with two girls over in England. So every month or so they're going to send me the English magazine that I like, and I'm trying to send them something in return. This came this week. One of them came the other week, and I don't think I showed you, but I do want to say thank you for you two girls that are sending them over to me. It's like Christmas when they come in the mailbox. So Nuala sent me this one. I'm swapping, we're having a little kind of swappy thing. This is, I think it must be November's, because, yeah, December's has got to come. But the reason I was going to show you, and I don't need to go through the whole magazine, but what I loved, I'm looking through. I'm not even going to try and knit that, but there's another little Allen Dart mobile. I'd love to have something like that knitted for Christmas, but there's no way I'm doing all those reindeer, because you can tell all the legs are separate. And look at what's in here too. Talking of slippers, I'm sure I'm not the only one that just sees things and goes, I want to knit it, I want to knit it, I have to cast on. But look at these too, how pretty. I want to cast these on. More slippers. And I like the silky ribbons in them as well as pom-poms. And there's one other thing in here. Oh, here it is. This is coming in next month's issue. I had to show this for Michelle. Pudding! Christmas pudding! I think I might want to knit that. So, you know, that going along with the fact that Michelle, Dancing Dog Dye Works, who is Woolly Love on Ravelry, is going to make a Christmas pudding with me this year. And for anyone that wants to join in, you know, feel free to, and then leave messages in the group. Get your ingredients sorted out or pick a recipe. I haven't decided yet. And I think it's, I think I was told November 27th is Stir It Up Sunday. That's when you make your Christmas pudding. I did plan on doing the Christmas cake this past weekend. I got all the fruit weighed out and everything, but Kristen's costume is like, you know, putting me back on that. Sorry, I was getting itchy. I'm hoping to do that in the next few days, or if not, just leave it till the weekend again once Halloween's over. What I also wanted to show you, that Nuala put in, she always puts in some goodies, and here it is. I nearly was going to have this for breakfast, one of my absolute favourites. Flake. Oh. I can't even smell it. It's a new peel and reveal package. Years ago when we used to get these, and it's just a crumbly chocolate for those that don't know what the Cadbury's flake is. It's just crumbly, and maybe I'll show you it if you've never seen inside. But it used to be twisted at the ends, quite easy to open. Now it's got a proper seal thing, but I'm going to try and open it and show you without, of course it's upside down, without dropping crumbs everywhere, because it's very crumbly. I mean, you have to eat this over something. Look at it, it's like a crumbly log. Why won't it ever... There. Focus. I need a better camera. But that's what a crumbly flake looks like. Now I can smell it, it's delicious. And these are just about gone. These are nearly gone. I did mention to Nuala that I've had a craving for jelly babies. Jelly babies! Oh my gosh, they're just about gone. And thankfully I'm the only one that's been eating them, because Kiki and hubby are not really into jelly kind of sweets, but oh, they smell so fruity. This poor thing, this is what a jelly baby looks like. Not very pretty. Again, I wish things would focus. But they come in different colours. Let's see if we can get a bit. And they've got a kind of icing sugar, confectioner's sugar coat in them. You know, they don't look like babies really, do they? But they're just fabulous. And hold on. I always start with biting the head off, and as you can see, it's just jelly inside. But it's so fruity smelling, so sweet, and I can't stop eating them. There's a few left. So, Nuala, thank you so much. I'm just having, delicious. And I just dropped something that I was going to show you as well. She also sent this, which I haven't had yet, which I'm going to wait and have it with you guys, possibly in the next podcast. Hot cocoa, Cadbury's caramel hot cocoa, which I've never had, and I bet it tastes delicious. So that's going to go in my mug sometime soon. All right, where are we? Let's see. New in the queue. That actually was the Regency blouse that I showed you in the magazine. It's gone in the queue this week, and definitely one of those things I might start in the new year. I've got so much I want to start, it's not even funny. Moving into book talk, I am trying to read, where's it gone? Here it is. Am I making you dizzy? I'm going round and round in circles. I'm trying to read The Gift of Life. It's just called Gift of Life, not The Gift of Life. I just said that again. Haven't got much read, and the meeting for the book club is next Wednesday, so I need to get a move on. This is a story about the guy who survives the Holocaust, and I have to say, the first part I'm reading is just so sad. It's incomprehensible that what people have gone through for that. But the happy outcome from his experience is he created a world. Give Kids the World, I think it's called. It's kind of like I think it's almost turned into a theme park. It's in Florida, and it's for those kids that are terminally ill, who have their last wishes, or one of their wishes is to go to Disney World. I think he's created this world based on the fact that you get him to move into there, or give them a place to stay, so they're near Disney World and they can go there. But I think it's almost an amusement park thing in its own right, but obviously for families, with children that are going through cancer and stuff, not just everybody can go there. So he's the one that creates that. I haven't got anywhere near, up to him talking about it. The miracle of Give Kids the World. That's one of the part 3s. So I really do want to try and make the effort to get through it all so I can chat or, be involved in the discussion next week. Again, once I've read that, we don't need to read anything for the rest of the year, except for when they decide on what the January book is. I did plan on reading Skipping Christmas, but I've decided that I have some other books, Christmassy books, that I'd want to read. So I think I'm not going to have a read along. I'm just going to maybe soon, once this book's finished, pick up something Christmassy. Just some little novels that I've picked up, fiction, in the library over the past few months that are on my shelf. So, with that said, it's time for, finally, girly chatter. And I'll put my hair right, as if I haven't chatted on enough, which is what I say every week. So, no sewing this week totally made me feel... I'm missing it. It made me feel wonderful that I didn't have to go down and sew. I didn't have to. I will get to sewing again when I want to. And I think that's going to come after Christmas, when, the holidays are over and the planning and the decorations and all of that have been up and down. Come down. I will get back to sewing, because honestly I am already missing it. I do like creating the bags, and I love looking for new fabrics. I've already got another new bag, a new design in mind that I'd like to try out. So I will get to that again, don't worry. Some of you have said that it was sad to hear I'm stopping. I'm not stopping altogether. It's just a little break I need because the holidays are looming. That's really all it is. But it did free me up to do things around the house. I made things in the kitchen. I made homemade granola for hubby that he liked. I made his Olive Garden soup, which is one of his favourites, the Zuppa Toscana, something like that. I did even do a roast beef. I liked the way the roast beef came out. Yorkshire puddings, I just can't get them to rise. It doesn't matter what recipe I try, and I forgot your name, but you did send me a recipe. They don't rise. It's got something to do with the altitude, and I don't know how to fix that with this particular recipe. So I'm kind of just not going to bother with them anymore. I do like the roast beef, but I like a pot roast just as much. So chances are the next time I do a piece of beef, I think I put it in the crock pot as opposed to roasting it. I did mention that I'm going to do the Christmas cake. That's probably going to be this weekend now. I just want this costume out of the way. I just want to get it finished. And also, the last thing I wanted to mention here is just a quick girly chatter to say that I'm trying to catch up with everything. If you are waiting for a prize from previous months, and I've eventually heard from you, I'll not get them out until next week. I'm sorry for the delay. I do need to send a bag out, the stitch markers. I just need to have a look and see what else, because there might be more people waiting. So I'm working on it. They won't be out in the mail this week. Yeah, so bear with me on that, because as much as I am getting the time to do more things, this costume and Halloween is just setting me back this week. I did accomplish a lot last week, but this week is kind of all about the costume. So after Friday, I will start looking into what needs done, especially regarding the prizes and stuff like that to get out. So that takes me into the shop news, which I've just told you about. I do plan on sewing bags again, but in the new year, I do have some that I want to get made for gifts, and I do want to finish off the last few custom orders. I'm waiting on some fabric to come in for one of them, but the others, I have them, they're nearly done, and I need to get them out in the mail. So, I think that is everything this week. I've got everything behind me on the bed. I will look to see if I've showed you everything. No, I haven't. So let's jump back to girly chatter, because this came in the mail yesterday, but I picked it up this morning. And it's another box, my beauty box 5. This could be for Kristen, but there's no facial products in it. And if you're watching for the first time, I mentioned last week, or the week before, that I had signed up for there's two, Birchwood I think was one, where you get samples in the mail every month for like a $10 or $15 fee. And that includes the shipping, I think. So, this one is even better than the first one I got. You get a card, tells you what you're getting, and it'll tell you the retail price as well. And what I've got in this box, you could probably see from the pictures, I have a full-size mascara to try, which is fabulous, and that retails for about $8. I have, this is probably going to be so handy, but I've got this little gadget that will scoop out, everything in your lotions, the bottles and stuff that you end up getting stuck in there, lotions or foundation and stuff like that. That will scoop out all of that. I have a nail polish, not something I generally would wear. Kristen probably likes that, but I definitely would try it, because to me it kind of feels like it's free, sort of. It's a free sample, and I need to get my nails to grow a bit better. And this is something I really was happy to see. I've never seen it in the store, but I use chapstick all the time, and I've got, this one is the advanced anti-aging formula on one end, and then you have the Renew on the other end, which revitalizes the lips with natural butters. So I got to try that. I always have chapsticks lying around. And I think there's one more thing, and this kind of blew me away. My hair's starting to flop, and you can't tell, but I put a little bit on this morning. It's a little pot where it's kind of just a dual purpose. You can dab this on and give yourself a little bit of lip colour, it says. Look at me playing with the makeup again. So you carry it in your purse, you could just do that, gives yourself a little colour. Or you can dab it on your cheeks if you're, out and about. Or you can use it in the house. So as I said, I did put some on this morning and used a brush to just brush it in a bit, colour the tops of my cheeks. So it goes on like that, see? Don't want any more on. There's too much of a glare too. I've probably got too much on there, but it's okay, I'm not going out in public. So yeah, that, I'm thrilled with that. Like so many, there's 3, well 4 actually. Everything's full size, and then you get this little gadget as well. Everything's already in a package. And this one, believe it or not, this is why I think I'm going to enjoy this. There's no way I would pay this. This thing retails for 20 bucks. There's no way I'd pay $20 for a little pot of rouge, as we would call it, or lipstick. But it's fabulous to try, and I haven't tried the mascara yet. I didn't bother opening it this morning. I was going to put it on, and Kiki doesn't wear mascara yet, so it's kind of all for me. So that was one thing I forgot to show you, and Bindi is sleeping on the other. This is kind of a haul, which I didn't show you, but I finally got off the needles. Guess what? I think I've just put my pink finger on the yarn. Anyway, I finally got this off the needles. One of the socks I was trying to do using leftover yarn, my sock yarn from Dancing Dog Dye Works. I haven't sewn in the end yet, but I have some more yarn left that I think I might get another sock out of. If not, I don't care if I have to add something on the top. It was just something I was keeping in the car to, you know, have some knitting. And yesterday I was at the Ortho with Kristen. So there's everything else on the floor. Can you see? So it's just a, I don't know how well you're seeing it, just a tiny little anklet, I was calling them. Seriously? So, there you go. I was trying to stick my foot in the air as well. So I finished that. Now, I haven't even cast on the second one, but I need to, so that I've got some car knitting. And one final thing, and I don't know if this is going to work out or if I shall frog it. I wanted to put on the needles, I just wanted to start using this yarn that I got from Michelle the other week in the pumpkin patch. I think it's called the pumpkin patch. Again, this is one of her 2 stripers. So you've got a stripe of brown, and then you've got variegated. Where are we? Yeah. Pumpkin patch, and it is her twist sock, superwash merino. Don't you bark at that. She's half asleep. I don't think she's going to. And so what I did, and I might end up pulling out, I'm not sure. I wanted to use my carbons as a magic loop to cast on a sock. But I always use a size 1, and the carbons I thought didn't start until size 2. Well, when I looked at them, the first size actually is 2.5. US 2.5, which is the, I haven't got my glasses on, I want to say a 3 mil or something like that, 3 millimetre. But I'll cast on anyway, even though it's a lot, it's a bigger needle than I usually do. So I just want to see the stripes work up, and I think, can't really see that either. I think I'm going to knit them because I'm going toe up. I might just need to do 56 stitches. I usually do 60 on a size 1. I might only need something like 56. And they'll still fit. They're just a little bit, they're not as tight. You know, the fabric's not as tight. So I don't mind that because sometimes the socks are, I do like them knit like this, but they're quite dense. So I don't know. I just want to see what they feel like. They could even be for hubby. You know, if they're a lot looser and I increase and make them his size. But that is on the needles because I just wanted to use these again because I think they're absolutely fabulous. And I want to see the stripes that this creates. So that, I think, is just about everything. So, for saying so again. I want to thank everyone again for joining me today. I don't know if I'll be in the bedroom every week. The reason I did come up here as opposed to going downstairs is a lot of the stuff I wanted to show you was already in my bedroom. So I figured it just made sense to come to the room that has everything instead of trying to drag everything to another room to show you. If I can get perhaps table in front of me, that would work better, so then I'm not twisting around all the time getting stuff off the bed. Because I do like the idea of sitting here with you and then kind of showing you out of the window each time we record, because there'll be some days where it just looks so dark and dreary and grey and sometimes raining, which I love because it's so cosy and it has that cosy feel. So that would be nice to show you. And then the days when the coming months when we get snow, you'll be able to see it from this height. So I think this location might work for a little while. I'm going to miss the porch, but I'm not going to miss you guys because I know you're going to be sticking with me and sitting down with me wherever I decide to chat from. As I said, I want to thank you all for joining me again. Thank you so much for your messages this week and for making me feel like this is still worth doing. I guess I still would podcast even if I thought nobody's watching it, because I like to do it. So I do hope everyone has a happy and safe Halloween, and I hope you come back next week and join me in the knitting den. Bye guys.